Hi there, I'm Jess, and this is Gameosity Digital. Today, we're taking a look at Tales from Candlekeep, Tome of Annihilation by Dungeons & Dragons and BKOM Studios. Tales from Candlekeep, Tome of Annihilation is based on the Dungeons & Dragons board game of the same name that's coming out later this month. Just like other D&D games like Wrath of Ashardalon, Castle Ravenloft, this game uses the D&D Adventure System. It uses tiles to build the map as you explore, and you'll be encountering enemies and traps as you try to accomplish your goal. So, let's jump in. I've already started the game so that we can check out all of the different features. But when you first begin, your options are kind of limited. You only have one character to start with, and some basic equipment. As you play, you'll earn experience, which will allow you to level up and gain new characters. The map shows you which adventures you have access to. Each adventure gives you a little explanation, tells you your goal, and shows you what you will earn. You can set the difficulty of the adventure here as well. Normal is easier, but hard and horrific are going to earn you better loot. I'm going to go with normal this time around. On this screen, I can choose which adventurers are going to go on the mission with me. Like I said, in the beginning you're only going to have one to work with, but I've gotten to the point where I have access to all of them. Here I can also see all of the different powers that they have, and choose to change out those powers with different ones if I so choose. Let's go with the party I have. Alright, so here we are in the game. As I said before, it's going to be set up just like the board game. So each piece of the map is going to look like one of the tiles. Your characters are going to have two things that they can do every turn: move and take an action. Anytime that you move to the edge of a map, you're going to be exploring, which means a new tile is going to appear, and enemies, traps, whatever else is on the tile is going to show up and start messing with you. If there are enemies on the tile, they're going to be assigned to the hero that discovered them. So those enemies are only going to activate whenever this character's turn comes up. Now we're going to have him attack. I've got a couple of different options. There's Bookmark, which uses a magical dagger, and that has a range of 1, so anywhere around me is going to hit. Or Careful Shot. This one shoots anything within 2 tiles, so I can't actually hit the one that's right next to me, but I can hit this gorilla-like creature over here. Let's just stab this dinosaur. Yes! Items that your characters loot will go straight into their inventory, and then you'll be able to use it on your next turn. If your character doesn't explore to a new tile, they're gonna get an encounter. These are usually bad things that happen to your characters, and as you play, you're gonna be earning adrenaline. You can use adrenaline to cancel these encounters if you like. Let's let this one go off so you guys can see what happens. Here, each tile on or adjacent to an ambush site is gonna take damage. Aw, sorry artist. Now it's Birdsong's turn. Let's get her over here. She has an ability called Bardic Inspiration. This means that when she attacks a monster, hit or miss, she is going to give 2 other heroes advantage. Advantage is a helpful status, which means when you take an action, instead of rolling 1 die and seeing if you pass or fail, this one is going to have you roll 2 dice and take the better result. There's also a status called Disadvantage, which does the opposite. Birdsong also has the ability to cancel encounters. It's very handy. And now it's Dragonbait's turn. Unfortunately, I can't move him over here because everyone is blocking the way. So let's have him explore a new tile. This is a challenge tile. Oftentimes, these will have an encounter that happens immediately. Thankfully, this one, nothing happens. Now I'm going to have Ashara attack. I can either use Chromatic Orb, which allows me to attack 1 monster within 2 tiles, or Acid Splash, which allows me to attack 1 monster within 1 tile, but it also attacks monsters adjacent to them. Yes. That knocked them both out. And now we've completed an entire quest. Pretty cool! At the end of every quest, you're going to get some chests to open. These are going to have a random assortment of items that you're going to use to level up your items. And here we have an overview of everything we did. You can see a summary, which has all of the objectives that we completed, which difficulty level we were on, how fast we were, and assorted other details. You can also check out which heroes were involved and which ones did the most defeating monsters or exploring. The game has some neat elements, such as the crafting system. Those items that you found in the chests before can be used to level up your items here. On the crafting button, it'll show you exactly what you need in order to level up the item. Here, I can make my hard leather quiver into a quiver of Elona. Let's try it. Now, unfortunately, leveling up isn't always guaranteed. You're going to have a percentage chance of success, which means that you could also fail and waste those items that you used on the crafting. Thankfully, you can adjust this by paying extra money. I don't feel like paying all that much though, so let's go with the basic. Fingers crossed. Yay, we did it! The new item is automatically equipped, and now we can look forward to crafting new things. If you ever have a question of what a certain thing is that you need, you can always check up here in the inventory. These symbols will match up with what is here and tell you how many of each you have. You can also check out your character's general info here. This will give you their name, class, story, stats, and special abilities. This is where I can learn about Artist Cimber. Cimber? I'm not sure how to say that. Artist Cimber, a former member of the Harpers, is the keeper of the Ring of Winter. He found the ring in the jungles of Chult, where he also met his wife, Alessandra. Aw, that's sweet. The ring halts its wearer's natural aging and has allowed artists to survive well beyond his natural lifespan. Oh, I hope his wife's elven, otherwise he's gonna outlive her and that's gonna be really sad. Sometimes in adventures you're gonna be fighting against bosses. These guys will have a little intro in the beginning where they yell at you, and they also have a ton of hit points. They're often very challenging the first time you come across them. Here you can see I am utterly screwed. Half my party is dead, and we don't have any healing surges left. We're in so much trouble. One thing I like about the video game versus the board game is there's nothing to keep track of. The game takes care of all the numbers for you. You'll be able to see at a glance who has advantages or disadvantages, and whenever you take an action and the game will roll dice for you, it'll show you what you rolled and the effects that it had right over here. So if I have Artist attack this zombie right here, let's see what happens. According to this, Artist rolled a 6 and killed the zombie. Pretty cool! Another cool function of the game is that you can zoom in on your characters and get a real good look at them. Hi, Dragonbait! Overall, Tome of Annihilation really evokes the feel of the board game without all the fuss of the tokens, sheets, cards, and dice. The play is pretty smooth, and I've had a really good time with it. They've done a really good job with the visuals, and I love how the minis have come out. They really feel alive. If you're a fan of the Dungeons & Dragons board games, then you're probably going to enjoy this game. So that's Tome of Annihilation. It's really fun. The only problems I have with it are little nitpicky things, like how the original tabletop games were cooperative, you play with your friends. This version, you can only play solo. I don't know if D&D is going to be adding any multiplayer options in the future, but until then, you just gotta go it alone. The other problem is, a lot of the tiles look the same, and so after you've played 4, maybe 5 games, you start feeling like you've played the same thing over and over again. Sure, the goals are different, the bosses are different, but you're still looking at the same piece of land or tile each time.
Otherwise, the game is a lot of fun. I love the crafting system, the heroes are kind of neat, and it's really fun to just explore and see what happens. I really suggest checking out the game on Steam right now. And until next time, I'm Jess, and I'll see you next game. Hey there, thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, give us a like and hit that subscribe button.